after school.
Okay. All right. So, hi, Sandy Beth. It's good to see you again, although I feel like I see you every day.
Hello, Miss
Um,
Green.
how are things going?
It's pretty good.
Okay. So, I know that we need to look at the English paper that you're doing, the essay. Um, how do you feel after you met with your English teacher today? How do you think it's going to end up, that paper? Do you
Um,
think like you're pretty close to being on track?
I don't know, cause I was trying to do all my makeup work for the 0 ones. I have them, but I just hadn't have time to finish them.
Okay.
But I think overall, I just think that I'm gonna just get at least a 70 something.
Yeah, and as we did look up your grade this morning, and you've got a nice, solid, high C. We have eight weeks left, more or less, of this marking period. So I don't think you'll have trouble maintaining that, keeping it there. I think you may even be able to bump it up a little bit. But as I said earlier, any of those assignments, worksheets, no more zeros, okay? If you're not sure what to do with those and you don't know where to get help for it, you can come see me. And those are perfect things to knock out on a Wednesday afternoon too. If you're going to stay, we can get 2 or 3 of those done probably, and still have you leave like around 4:30, or even sooner.
Yeah.
Since you get a ride, it doesn't matter. Um, but I guess your real concern is maintaining your GPA. Is that why you're like
Yeah.
really overly concerned about the English?
Mm-hmm.
I meant to get a minute to look it up today, but I didn't. The last time you looked, what was your cumulative GPA?
78.
That was your grade in the class. I mean your overall GPA. Like when you look like 2 point, how for the seat scholarship?
Yeah, I have a 3 point something.
That's what I thought. I knew it was over 3 point something. And really, honey, at this point, since you're going to start applying to colleges, your GPA is what it is right now. It's really not going to be affected much by anything that you do senior year. That's why we tell students the time to worry about your GPA isn't senior year, because by then it's a little too late. You have to be worried about it all along, especially junior year. That's when you can get it up and get it to where it needs to be. Okay? Because now, even if you were to get all straight A's, it would bring your GPA up a little bit, but the colleges really are only going to see what your GPA is right now because all the application stuff is starting to come due. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the GPA you have in May or June really isn't going to matter because all the college paperwork has to be in before that. Okay? So you're still good for the seed scholarship. And I wanted to ask you, I know you went on the Del Tech trip. Okay? So you went to both campuses.
Mm-hmm.
You said, which one did you prefer?
The Georgia one. They call it Georgia.
Georgetown.
Georgetown.
Okay,
yeah.
so we're talking about downstate.
It's in Wilmington.
Oh, okay.
They started to call it Georgia or something like that because George.
That's,
It
no,
was supposed
okay.
to be Wilmington. It's Wilmington, the University of
Right.
Wilmington, but they called it George.
Are you sure? Because Georgetown, the Owens campus, is the one that is in Georgetown, Delaware.
Yeah, that one.
That's all the way downstate, like by the beach.
No, it's not that one then.
Okay.
But it's the one of Wilmington.
Okay. All right. So, but you're thinking of the one that's downtown. Either way, not the one that's near here in Stanton by the mall.
No.
Okay. Is there a reason?
Well, I don't know. I feel like it would be easier if I go to that one. I felt more comfortable.
Okay. And because you're more familiar with downtown Wilmington, is your house near there?
No, it's near where Stanton is.
Okay. All right.
It's like 10 minutes from there.
Okay.
But I mean, I want to go over there because it's something that I want to. Because I like because they have the cafeteria, really nice. They have business. They have an office where if there's English, they could help you on it.
Mm-hmm.
You could stay whenever you want, at the
Okay.
time you want.
Okay.
And there's a gym. I like that.
Okay, yeah, they have a really nice gym. Isn't that amazing?
They didn't show us the gym, but I feel that if I go to that college, it will help me and more because I have to stay after whenever I can.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I could still choose my classes.
Okay. All right, so that's the campus that we're leaning towards, and those are all good reasons. So when you went on the trip, you got to see the Office for English Language Learners. Is that what you're saying? Did you also get to see, and it may have been the same office, where you would go to if you wanted any kind of extra accommodations or help? Did you get to see that support office or meet the person in charge of that? Okay, so you feel comfortable. Would you feel comfortable going into those offices and asking for help when you need it? Okay. All right, so have the application, two things, okay? Since this is really our last official meeting as far as this counseling session, you know that I'm still going to be, anything that you need, I'll work with you on it moving forward here, whether it be college, whether it be the English or whatever. But for all intents and purposes, this is our last meeting as far as this official counseling. So I want to know where you were at with the college applications and where you still need to be or what you still need from me.
Well, the thing I need is apply to Delaware Technical Community College. I haven't done that, but I have filled the kind of application, I think. Because when I went to Deltech, they gave me the application to fill out.
Okay. And you can also do that online as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So I did print this out for you, Sandy Beth. It is strictly for Deltech, and it does say what you need to do to apply, step by step by step. And of course, the first thing is to complete the application for admissions. I think it's a very simple, quick thing. I know several students have already done it, and I've already heard back from Deltech that they've been accepted.
Really?
Yeah. So that's something you could do, and we could do that together if you want. I don't think some of the students that have done it didn't need any help because it was that straightforward, okay? But if you want to do that together, we can do that, okay? We can make a time and complete that. And then I see that you also had the SEED scholarship application, right? Did you? It looks like this?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I printed one up for you too because I wasn't sure if you had one. I mean, when you look at this, Sandy Beth, you can see it's just basic information as far as your name, phone number, address. There's a couple, you check off which campus you're interested in. All right, so you would be picking the second choice there, which says Orange Street, which is the Wilmington one. Okay, and then you read through the rest of it, and then you would sign it, and your parent would sign it. Okay, but in order to save having to send this out, you could also just do it online and submit it that way. At this point, when you do this application, there's no money involved, so you could do that right here at school. You wouldn't have to worry about. Okay, so doing that, this is the SEED. Okay.
I have to fill this out too, right?
Yes, you absolutely have to fill that out. Okay, and you also, here's the most important thing, okay? Really, all this should be done by April 15th. You could do it anytime between now and then, okay? The sooner you do it, the better, okay? Because then you can find out whether you did qualify, how much money you're going to get, all those things you'll know ahead of time. What's really important is they also want you to do the FAFSA, which is the financial aid form.
That's the thing I was going to ask you. When I think they already have the meeting.
They already did, but Stand By Me is that organization that's helping. They're coming at Delcastle at night to help people and their parents. And the next time they're doing it is November 15th. So that's next week. I think it's a Monday or a Tuesday in the library.
Oh, what time?
We'll have to go back and oh wait, I have it here. Hold on a second. and I'll let you have this copy again, okay? But this time it's really important, hon. Can't ignore this, all right? FAFSA completion workshop, November 15th, 6 o'clock, okay? So what you need to do ahead of time, though, both you and your parents, which will save a lot of time, you have to go to the website, the FAFSA website, and I can show you what that is after we're done here today, or not today, but next week, Monday. You have to go to the FAFSA website, and you have to apply for a PIN. It's a 4-digit number, like 1015, something like that. They give it to you. It generates it. You need a PIN, and your parents need a PIN, okay? And when you come to the meeting, if you have that PIN, you're going to save yourself like a half hour, because those people who come without a PIN, they have to apply for the PIN during that meeting, and it takes about 30 minutes, sometimes longer, for that PIN to get generated, okay? So if you can do that ahead of time, it's a very simple thing to do. And you'll need that PIN every time you go into FAFSA. FAFSA is something that has to be done every single year. It has to be updated, okay? So once you've done it once, every year you go in there, you tweak it a little bit, maybe financially some things have changed. It's once it's done, it's easy to do it year after year after year, but you do have to update it every time as long as you're in college, okay? But that PIN is really important. I watched some kids, because one night they were there on a Wednesday night when I was there for extra help, and there were a number of kids who didn't realize they needed a PIN, and they sat there and waited, and the PIN never came through, so they never got a chance to do the FAFSA with these people who were there to help, okay? So very, very important. All right.
Would you show me how to
Yes,
do
yeah. It's a very simple thing to do. You just put some information into FAFSA, and then they'll send you an email, and in that email will be your PIN number.
Okay.
And then what I would do is, once you have your PIN, I would take it and put it someplace safe, store it either in your phone, or store it, have it written on a piece of paper and put it someplace safe at home with your important papers, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, what I did for my own children, because I have 4 kids who've gone to college, I started a folder that was just FAFSA. And every time we do it, I put the papers in there, my PIN is in there, all the kids' PINs are in there, I wrote their PINs right inside that file folder. So whenever I needed to do it, I had everything. So some people, they get scattered, and when they go to do the FAFSA, they're like, oh gosh, I have to go look for this, I have to go look for this, I have to go look for this. And they spend an hour getting all the paperwork that they need before they can sit down and do the FAFSA. This way, if you have a folder that's just for FAFSA, every time you go to sit down and do it, you have everything right there, saves time, and makes everything quicker, okay? So that's what I would recommend, and yeah, I'll be glad to show you that. All right, so that's the next thing that you should do, is get the PIN number for the FAFSA, and then you and your parent attend November 15th at 6 o'clock, and let people show you how to complete the FAFSA application, okay? All right, it's just so important, hon, okay? And it's like filling out your taxes. It's not easy unless somebody shows you how to do it the first time, okay?
Yeah.
Especially in your case, coming from a family where you're the first child going to college, first generation, okay? So when we get back...
Does my parents, both of my parents have to go, or just one?
Just one. So the next thing we need to do is get you the PIN, and then the next thing, the two things,
application.
is to do the Deltec application. Okay, and you'll probably find out pretty quickly that you were accepted, and that's one thing that'll be off your list of things to do. Okay? All right, and let's see, is there anything else, Sandy Beth, that you need as we end kind of this formal session, even though we'll continue to work together?
Not really.
Okay, the other thing, we'll need to talk to your guidance counselor about making sure that she sends your official transcript to Deltec, which is an official copy of all your grades and all the classes that you've had here at Delcastle. It lists it for every single year. It also shows what your GPA is. Okay. And we need to talk to her about that. It says submit your final official high school transcript. So you may have to wait until May to get that done. But what you can do are these first two things. Okay, apply for the FAFSA, which you'll do on that night, and then get the seat scholarship application completed, either a hard copy like this, or you can do it online. You can see how simple it is. If you get this information, maybe take this home, fill it out on here, and then bring it back, and we can do it on a computer and submit it that way. It's totally up to you. All right?
Yeah.
But you'll need things like your social security number.
Yeah, that's the thing I have to find.
Yeah. But the rest of it, I think, you know, your daytime phone number, that kind of stuff, you should all know that. So once you get your social security number, we could do it online if you want. Okay? All right. So you're thinking business while you're there, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like I should, because I feel like if I go to business, it will help me in the future. Like, let's say if I retire of doing stylist, I could go to banking or
Yeah.
do those kind of things, or business, or manage a business.
Yeah, with a business degree, there's a lot of different ways that you could go. You're absolutely right. You could go into banking. You could work in any kind of office. That would help you run your own business. All right. So yeah, I think that's a good route for you. And especially being a female, you know, if you have that business degree, there's a lot of loans out there, small business loans, and you know, women are still considered like minorities. And plus with the Hispanic heritage, that's going to help you too, where you could go and probably get a very nice small business loan that would allow you to get some money to start your own business.
Or you could also go to business like a business they have, like, let's say I don't know, like somewhere where they do business and do presentations, you know, like those presentations where you figure out about business and
Oh, yeah. You're talking about some of those,
like in
yeah, where those presentations where they show you how to get started in your own business. And yeah, there's a lot of that. And there's a lot of places in Wilmington, there's a lot of support services like that where you can go and get that kind of help and support to learn how to open up your own business.
Yeah, like there's this guy I met in Delaware Tech. He was doing business too. He's building his own website, like the people could use. It's like an app you could download on your phone, and they could use so it could help them. It's like a business planner.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Cool. Yeah, there's a lot of help out there. A good friend of mine just opened up her own salon over by the hospital. You know where Firebirds is, that restaurant? It's a popular restaurant, but it's right across from the hospital near Deltec, near Christiana Mall. And she used to work for Perry Anthony as a stylist, and she opened up her own shop now. It's called Carol Cole's, whatever, but it's so cute, brand new, beautiful, like chandeliers and stuff. And she was able to do that because she went to some of these small business presentations. She got a volunteer business planner who showed her how to go through all the steps, how to write up a business plan, how to go to the banks to get the money, all that. So she's now been open 2 years, you know, and that's really amazing. And, you know, now she hires people to come work for her. She has a couple stylists and an esthetician.
What does she do?
Well, she owns the salon now, and she herself is a hairstylist, so she does all that. But she runs this salon. It's hers now. It's called Carol Cole.
Yeah, but does she do like everything of a stylist, or like hair cutting, color?
Yeah, all that. Yeah, she used to be one of Perry Anthony's best stylists, and she also trained a lot of the new girls and guys that were coming on. Like, that's how good she was. But, you know, these salons don't pay you much to do that. So she's like, the only way I'm ever going to make a good deal of money is to go out on my own. So that's what she did. So it's a lot of responsibility because now everything is on her shoulders. She not only gets all the money, but she also gets all the responsibility, you know. So like she kind of overextended a little bit where she hired a lot of people and then realized they weren't ready for that yet. They weren't big enough. So she had to let a couple people go. So she learned, I can't go big right away. I got to start out with a couple, and as we get our feet on the ground, then I'll hire more and more and more. So yeah, so she has about like 4 stylists working for her. She just hired a girl who graduated from St. Mark's to come on board as like a shampoo girl, but then she's going to train her to be a stylist, and she has an esthetician. But she did all that by going through those small business support services. They helped her, get that plan together. Okay, so it's absolutely can be done,
Yeah.
So it's a good dream. No matter which way you go, no matter what kind of business you want to have, Sandy Beth, okay? You have perseverance, you have a good work ethic. So even if you decide to do something outside of cosmetology, run a business that's different than that, you're going to be very successful. But use the tools that are available out there. You're good about advocating, you're good about getting help when you need it. So do the same thing when you're out there in the real world, okay? All right. So we'll go ahead and end this session. I'll continue working with you on this until you finally get that letter that says you're accepted and everything's good to go. But we'll continue to work on the FAFSA stuff and getting that PIN and the SEED scholarship, okay? All right, honey. Well, it's been a pleasure to work with you. I've enjoyed it, and I appreciate you volunteering to be part of these counseling sessions. You've taught me a lot, actually, about this whole process, because this is something that's not inside my realm. So now I know a lot more about this process, which if I decide to go into counseling, is going to be very helpful to me, okay?
Okay, thank you for the information.
Yeah, you're welcome, sweetie.